Anyone who knows me will tell you that I love love. I love love so much that Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday, and I'll get into an unnecessarily passionate debate with anyone who says it's just Hallmark's excuse to sell more cards, even if I know it is. I love the idea of love, and I love it in actuality. Now, this isn't an essay about love, but it's about the essence of love at its core, what I know to be true. How things fuse together and become intertwined. How chemicals react and trip up the brain, and suddenly nothing makes sense. How we fall into patterns and people, and slowly that becomes our life. One day, seasonal affective disorder, more commonly known as seasonal depression, fell in love with me. It's a difficult relationship, one that started to take over a part of my life, one that is impossible to end no matter how toxic it gets because depression is in my brain. She is me. We've been attached at the hip for 3 years now. She hand-delivers my traditions every fall. Seasonal affective disorder shows up differently in everyone, but for me, that means I suddenly have very low energy and motivation. Normally, I'm an involved and engaged person, but in the fall, my passion for the activities that I love becomes something that I have to struggle every day to hold on to. I have difficulty regulating my moods and keeping my life in order. There's a noticeable shift in the way I behave as soon as depression arrives for the season. I get frustrated and upset for seemingly no reason. Dragging myself out of bed in the morning becomes grueling. She arrives half past September and reminds me to lower my expectations. My summertime optimism will be carried away with the autumn breeze. The easier I succumb to the inevitable, the easier it will be for me to move on. This is my life now, she tells me. A downward slope, straight into the ocean. I usually believe her. But last fall was a little different. Halfway through, I decided that I wanted to start playing my life by my own rules. I was no longer content with the passenger seat because my life, by all accounts, got better. I started going to college. I was living in the city, my favorite place. I met new friends who had the best intentions and wanted to understand what I was going through. I fell in love with somebody. My family and I grew closer than ever before. So, I allowed the unthinkable to happen. I challenged my depression's idea of love, that it had to be all or nothing, her or them, a choice. I grew suspicious of the false promises she gave me about how good my life could be if I just stayed inside, alone. I didn't want to be inside anymore. I wanted to be out there with my favorite people. Suddenly, I couldn't tell why I was so upset. Whether it was just a symptom of my depression or because living with her was making living with everybody else so painful. Mental illness, at times, makes you feel unlovable. So when you have people around you, holding your hand and proving that false, you want to protect those moments forever. When you have someone look you in the eye, tell you the one thing that makes you most beautiful is the overwhelming capacity of your heart despite everything that's hurt you, you want to fight to make that feeling stay. You get angry. You want to fight every single day against your brain. So I did. Slowly, I began to resist the urge to sleep the day away. I fought against depression's pleas to call out of work. I invited friends to lunch. I took walks by myself and forced myself to face my discomfort. I started to become an active participant in life again. It was terrifying and physically draining. But I know it was worth it. I can't tell you that depression is curable. I can't tell you that there is a one-size-fits-all solution because life, and especially mental illness, is rarely ever that simple. Mental illness cannot ever be truly eradicated. It is a soundtrack that will follow me throughout my life. At times, it's faded in the background. Other times, it reaches a crescendo. I have to follow these ups and downs and try my best to understand them. They are a part of who I am. I can't scare my seasonal depression away. I just have to show her that I can put up a fight. The people I love fueled the fire that led that fight. They really did and continue to, every day. They are the reason I'm inspired to be so brave and challenge my mental illness for the very first time in my life. But it took a lot of strength to do the things I did. No one else had to see the painful inner workings of my progress, sobbing on the way to work, the physical pain and aching I felt as I forced myself to make plans and follow through with them, feeling defeated on days when all I could do was give up. I went against my own brain, my own body, and my own instincts. I'm the reason why I'm up here right now, doing something that probably would have been unthinkable a year ago. This fall, depression is still a part of me. She always will be. But now she knows that our relationship has limits and she can only grip me so tightly. I put my foot down and decided to really start living, despite having a mental illness. For myself, and for everybody that reminds me, every single day, why love is the best thing in the world. Thank you.